Oh, I read some really interesting shit about how Iceland beat the bankers. When Iceland went bankrupt, and then the bankers tried to pull this shit where, yeah, we were greedy cunts, and now we're putting the debt on you and your taxpayers. They said, you know what? Fuck you. This isn't our debt. This isn't our mess. It's yours. And then all these fucking sellout cunts like fucking Amsterdam and Britain put all this pressure on fucking Iceland because they pussied out with the bankers. They've been on their knees sucking that banker cock for fucking ever. They tried to fucking get them to come along. They tried to pressure them, and or else we'll turn you into the Cuba of the North. And they said, fuck you. We're not doing it. And you know what? That's what this country should have done. This country should have told those banker fucking cunts. I'm beside myself that it isn't brought up more. It's the whole thing. Like, I have water damage to my house. My insurance company sends a check that's made out to me, Nia, and then my mortgage company. And we have to sign the check over to them so they keep the money. And you know why that is? Because they fucked so many people so fucking hard in the ass. So many people are upside down in houses because of the bullshit that they created by making people who aren't qualified for loans qualified. So instead of having 5 people bid on a house, you got 10 people bidding on it, and it goes up like Super Bowl tickets, right? And all of a sudden, a house that's really worth $180 sells for $270. So you got these cunts. Everybody's fucking upside down in the house. So they're like, well, fuck it, I'm keeping this money. And then when they foreclose on it, they fucking come in, and they're like, fuck, they never fixed the roof. So now I have to sign over my goddamn money. It's my money. It's my insurance. That's my insurance money. I have to send it into them. You know why? Because, people, it's not my house. It's their fucking house. It's theirs. All right? And if I ever pay this fucker off, which I'm gonna, I drive a 6-year-old hybrid. All right? I don't give a fuck. I dress like Malcolm Young because I'm getting these cunts out of my life. And this is what's going to happen. I'm going to pay off this fucking house. And you think when I die, I can just give it to somebody else? It's my house, right? If I can fucking give away all my other shit, why can't I give the house? The house is going to have all taxes and all these penalties and all this bullshit. And whoever I fucking leave it to is going to be like, you know what? It's just going to be easier to sell it. And then they sell it. And whatever money they make, they get the shit taxed out of them. They get half a dick in their ass. And then somebody else buys this thing. And then the bank goes balls deep in them for another fucking 30 years. You know what? Halfway through that, I realized, am I sounding crazy or am I making sense? I don't know. I talked to a banker in a titty bar. He agreed with everything I said. Dethroning the bankers. Dear Bill, I know how much you hate the banker cunts, and was wondering if you ever considered getting into Bitcoin. The decentralized nature of the currency creates no need for central banks controlling everything. I'd suggest creating a Bitcoin wallet and playing around with a small amount of Bitcoin to learn how the system works. It's the most exciting thing in technology and finance since the invention of the internet. Love the podcast. Thanks, and go fuck yourself. And he's nice enough to leave the Wikipedia definition. Either that or Andrew Themelis. Let me know what this is. Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer payment system and digital currency introduced as open source software in 2009 by pseudonymous developer Satoshi Nakamoto. Dude, Japanese people got the best fucking names. Satoshi Nakamoto. That's a fucking killer name. Bill Burr. Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto. How would you say that if he scored a goal? I can't do it. All right, let me just continue here. ADD. It's a wonderful thing. It's cryptocurrency, so-called because it uses cryptography, oh Jesus, to control the creation and transfer of money. Conventionally, Bitcoin refers to the technology and network, whereas lowercase bitcoins refers to the currency itself. Yeah, well, the big problem with this is it's created by human beings. I don't think that bankers are necessarily evil. I just think that they have, or more evil than I am. They're in a position to absolutely devastate everyone walking the planet. International bankers have that ability. But I really think that the more I don't know, the more I read up on it and stuff, it's just a bunch of greedy cunts. And like somebody's saying right now, the big conspiracy is that they're going to try to bankrupt all currencies to eliminate all wealth on the planet and then come back with the new currency. And, well, I know that they're not going to eliminate their own wealth. So they're going to make everybody on the planet broke except for them, and they're going to survive. Now, maybe they can do it, but how do you pull that off? That seems like that would have a very finite life before people were just like, all right, I don't know about you guys, but there's like 9 people left in the world that can afford a 3-piece suit, and it's not any one of us 7 billion. What do you say we go over there and beat them with their pocket watches? You know, it's eventually, wouldn't that happen? I don't know. Yeah, I would just like to go back to just open bartering, just trading shit. Hey, I'll give you this shirt for that sandwich. I got plenty of shirts. Fuck. Going hungry again. But look at my waistline. I look awesome. All right. I'll read up on it, sir. I'll look up on it. I'll look up on it. I'll read up on it, and I'll look it up. How about that? I'll do both of those things. I'll look it up, and then I'll read up on it. A lot of up going on there. All right, donation currency. Hey, Bill, longtime listener, love the show, blah, 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 blah. Let's get right to the point. The person wrote blah, 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 before you think I'm being arrogant. Let's get right to the point. You should think about adding another way of donating on your website, Bitcoins. Why is that? You have fans in places so fucking strange that you don't even know where it is on the goddamn globe. Go fuck yourself. I know where most places are on the globe, and I know their capitals. At least I used to. It's in my head somewhere. They use different currency, which might be a problem. Bitcoin is providing an easy way to... Is this a commercial? An easy way to transfer wealth. Use it and welcome to the 21st century. By the way, I'm from Poland. It's really cold in here. It's a second language. All right. I would think that if whoever starts Bitcoin, if they don't get murdered in the next calendar year, then it's just started by the bankers. Or they're just going to buy it up. They'll sell out, right? I don't know. I'm not going to fucking start using a new currency. All right? I saw what happened with the euro. I'm going to go with Bitcoin that started by some fucking hippie Japanese guy. Or even worse, a businessman Japanese guy. Ah, Jesus Christ. You can't tell me they're not still upset by the 2-piece we gave them back in the 40s. Russian guy outwits banks. Oh, I like this one already. Hey, Bill, thought you might enjoy reading this article about a Russian man who outwitted a bank by writing his own terms into their credit card contract. Jesus Christ, that's fucking phenomenal. How the hell did... That's like beating Bruce Lee at karate. Or kung fu. Or Jing Feng Ku, whatever the fuck he did. Article, here we go. The idea of beating the banks at their own game may seem like a rich joke. But Dmitry Agarkov, I don't know, 42-year-old Russian man. Sounds like he plays for the Red Wings, doesn't he? 42-year-old Russian man may have managed to do it. Unhappy with the terms of an unsolicited credit card offer he received from an online bank, Tinkoff credit system, Agarkov, sorry if you're listening, I'm butchering this, or if you're of Russian descent. He scanned the document, wrote in his own terms, and sent it through. The bank approved the contract without reading the amended fine print, unwittingly agreeing to a 0% interest rate, unlimited credit, and no fees, as well as a stipulation that the bank pay steep fines for changing or canceling the contract. The bank has so much money, they'll be able to get around this. But that's fucking genius. What a hero. Agarkov used the card for 2 years, but the bank ultimately canceled it and sued Agarkov for $1,363. The bank said he owed them charges, interest, and late payment fees. A court ruled that because of the no fee, no interest stipulation Agarkov had written in, he owed only his unpaid $575 balance. Look at this. 2 minutes left in the game, people. Is he going to win this or what? Agarkov is now suing the bank for $727,000 for not honoring the contract's term, and the bank is hollering fraud. They signed the documents without looking. They said to me what usually their borrowers say in court. We've not read it. Agarkov's lawyer said, the shoe's on the other foot now. Sorry, I really butchered the ending of that reading. So, well, I got to pay attention to that. Well, they'll settle out of court. I don't know, man. That's a hard. I mean, the fact that you just got out of paying the fees. I got to put this in my computer here. I want to pay attention to that. Agarkov, Russian bank case. Okay, so it's still at that point. Hey, anybody in Russia listen to this thing? Can you please keep me abreast of this? I want to see if he gets any of that $727,000. All right? I'm going to do a little pregame analysis here. I'll tell you right now, I got to tell you, if I'm the bank, I got to be thinking, how did we end up in this situation? I would actually guess that they're not going to pay any of that. They probably got enough politicians and judges in their pockets. I mean, it's corrupt enough over here. I can't imagine what the fuck it's like over there. No offense, but it is what it is. Yeah, if anybody, I don't know, in Estonia, Latvia, if you're close enough, you can pay attention and let me know. I'd appreciate it. Lithuania, the Ukraine, Belarus, look at me. Huh? I've learned some shit. So anyways, this gets me to the super rich on how, you know, all of that shit about the Panama Papers and all that type of stuff. I was talking to another friend of mine who's a fucking lawyer. And I was like, how does that work? Like, how do you get your money out of the country? And then once it's out of the country, how do you make sure nobody steals it? Like what happened to Johnny Depp's character in Blow. And then once you have it out of the country, how do you get it back in without just getting taxed all over again or busted? And he said, basically, this is it. And he broke the whole fucking thing down, all right? Or as far as I know, he broke an aspect of it down. I know all you guys are sitting there right now going, oh, Jesus, he's going to try to explain. I'm going to try to explain some shit that was just explained to me, and I don't really know what the fuck I'm talking about. So let's get rid of one myth right out of the gate. I remember a long time ago, a friend of mine had a fucking landscaping business, and he already had a truck, and he went out and he bought this giant fucking, you know, one of those things with the dual wheels on the back and this fucking giant bed. It looked like you put cattle in it, right? And I was like, holy fuck, man, how much does that thing cost? And, you know, it was like the 80s. It cost like $25,000, which was a lot of fucking money back then, right? For a truck, you know? It's like $10,000 more than you pay. $25,000-$30,000 or some shit, right? I was like, holy shit, man, you can afford that? And he was like, yeah, it's a write-off. That's what a lot of dopes say. And it is a write-off. But what they think is that they can write $30,000 off of their taxes. What you can't. What you can do is you can write off. It's a write-off as far as that $30,000 that you just spent on that truck is untaxable. All right? It's sitting in whatever. You made that money. You made $30,000. If it's just sitting there and you don't put it back into play as far as reinvesting into your business, the government will tax you at the end of the year, you know, on that $30,000. And let's say you're in like a fucking, whatever, 20% tax bracket that you'd have to give the government fucking $6,000. Right? That's it. So morons think, oh, I get to write in the end of the year, if I owed $40,000 in taxes and I bought a $30,000 truck, I get to take $30,000 off of my taxes. You wouldn't. You'd just be able to knock off $6,000. Right? You're not even knocking it off. You're just not getting taxed on that. Does that make sense? Probably doesn't, because I explained it. So anyways, when you have your own business, what you're trying to do is you're trying to come up with as many fucking write-offs as you possibly can. Many expenses, everything you possibly can to lower your basic, whatever your income as far as what is going to be taxable. So say you made fucking $100,000, all right? You grossed $100,000. The net is what you're left with after your expenses. You try to fucking come up with as many goddamn expenses as you can to get that $100,000 as far down as zero as possible. Ideally, you wouldn't want to pay any fucking taxes as far as these people look. But the bottom line is, you can only do it so much, and if you write off too much, the IRS is going to show up and be like, what's this fucking, $60,000 for fucking cheeseburgers, blah, 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 you tried to write off, and you're going to get busted. All right? So what these fucking super rich people do is, the first thing they do is they get the fucking money out of the country, because the IRS's jurisdiction doesn't go beyond the borders. So what they do is they just create a company that doesn't exist. It's just on paper, right? So say you make $100 million, right? What you do is you go to a country that doesn't give a shit about America and lets you use it as a tax shelter. You just come up with some incorporated thing, like Who Gives a Fuck Inc., right? And then you just have that company bill your company a consulting fee for $100 million or whatever, of the $100 million, 30, 40, 50, whatever you don't want to pay taxes on, whatever. And then you write a check to that company that doesn't exist, that's really you. And then you send it out. So now it's out of the fucking country. And then what they do is they open up like 10 other of these fucking shell companies, and they have those other companies build the first company, and then the third one builds the second one, the fourth one, and it's just gone. The money's fucking gone. Now, the IRS can come at you and be like, what the fuck did you pay somebody $100 million consulting fee? And then you're telling me you paid somebody $100 million as a consulting fee? And then you just look at them and go, yes. And evidently there's nothing they can fucking do about it. So then I go, all right, so now it's out of the country, and then it's in this other country. How the fuck do you protect it? And he goes, well, those countries where these tax shelters are, they're in on the scam. So you just kick them 10% of the $100 million. You give them 10. Here's fucking whatever you can negotiate. We'll just make it easy. Here's $10 million bucks. So I'll give you 10 million rather than giving the government fucking 50, 55, 60 million of that 100 million. I'm still fucking up 45 million. All right. So then I was like, all right, so now how do you get the money back? Because if, you bring the money back, you stick it into the bank, they're going to consider that earned income. Like, where the fuck did you get it? And this guy was like, they bring it back into the country in the form of a loan. Loans aren't taxable, right? Like if you get a fucking loan because you're already paying interest on it and everything, they don't tax you. So they just bring it back in the form of a loan, whatever the fuck you want to do. I want to buy a $10 million house. You have this shell company that's 10 times removed from the one that you paid from the consulting fee, right? And they can't follow the paper trail because it's in a different country, right? You just bring it back into the country in the form of a loan. And then you go buy a fucking house. And I guess, I don't know, you pretend to make payments, or the loan is forgiven by this shell company that's still you. I know I just glossed over that, and if anybody has more information on it, I find it absolutely fascinating. There's other ones, they just pretend that that's their main business, that shell company, so they just act like it's doing I don't know. That's as far as I can remember what he told me, and I found that shit absolutely fucking fascinating, because at the end of the fucking day, as far as what they're doing, I know they're fucking over you and me because, the school systems go down the shitter because they don't have enough money. There's a lot of potholes. There's all kinds of stuff. You can't take care of homeless people. You can't build another gleaming structure for a fucking sports team, whatever the fuck it is. At the end of the day, as fucked up as that is, these people who are criminals, they're stealing from other criminals. As far as my conspiracy theory goes, the IRS is just a bunch of fucking crooks anyway. So, I mean, it's kind of fascinating watching these two giant, powerful entities fuck with each other. Meanwhile, I'm in the crosshairs, you're in the crosshairs, and we're all paying Elvis taxes. And there goes Hillary Clinton screaming in some Baptist church. Is she talking about that shit? Of course she isn't. Because when you bring the fucking money back in, you just don't bring it in and go out and buy yourself your fucking Ferrari, California. What you do is, you do that, but what you also do is you walk around with nice wad of cash and you go, oh, hey, chief of police. Oh, look at that birdie over there. And as he looks over, you stuff a fucking wad of cash in his pocket, And then, oh, is it an election year? Yeah, let me get, I'll take $2 million on Trump. Give me 2.5 on Hillary, and fuck it. Give me $500,000 on Bernie Sanders. What do you mean he's not taking any money from guys like me? Oh, is that right? Well, whatever. He won't get in. And if he does, I'll give $3 million to, silence him. That's what the fuck they do. And that's how they I don't know. I'm convinced of that. I'm convinced as far as like stand-up comedy goes. You know why they're always giving us shit? Is because if stand-up comedians just organized, okay, and we donated to the campaigns of people running to the Democratic and the Republican parties, right? And then we bought a little ad time on CNN and on Fox News and all these major networks. If we did that, you'd never see another comedian getting in trouble for doing a fucking Caitlyn Jenner joke. Anyways, if anybody has any more information on that or they can talk about it, I don't like if it's really dry. I just like, I'm fascinated with people that do shit like that and then they go to bed knowing what the fuck they're doing. And they got to be thinking at some point, like, the wolf's got to be coming to the door at some point. Hang on one second. I got to answer this. All right, so I'm back. Of course, I completely forget what the fuck where I ended off. But what I really learned when I was, listening to this lawyer telling me all this shit. I know. I say the balls that takes to go to bed at night, knowing at any point, like, all of a sudden the fucking feds are going to kick in your fucking door. But I think that these guys are like the smarter ones. And when you watch like American Greed, what I noticed when I watched them, all of their fuckery was within the borders of the United States, which I guess if you're too dumb to know, you don't realize you're not going to get away with it forever. But like once after talking to this guy, it just seems like anybody who just tries to have their entire illegal entity within the borders of one country is you're just on borrowed time. So I think when you watch American Greed, what you're really seeing is the hacks of, you always see these fucking idiots. They buy a house, they get all these fucking cars, and they have some strippers come over. Oh, my fucking laptop. Oh, that was a laptop hitting hardwood floors. Come on, baby. Come on, come around. You're all right. Hang in there. Help is on the way. Fuck. Oh, you fucking motherfucker. Steve Jobs is laughing somewhere right now. He's laughing at me because I got to give him money, and he also knows there's going to be another little kid's got to put it together. All right, it's saved. It's saved. So anyways, let's read a little bit of fucking ad shit here before my screen goes dark. Hang on a second. I find that shit, I find all that stuff fucking amazing. It's really, really interesting. If you just remove yourself from it, the humanity of it or whatever, and all the people that it's affecting and kids not getting better school books and shit, if you just look at the fucking game that's going on, it's really fucking interesting. All right. French Revolution and bankers. Hi there, Billy Bandwagon. I've been a fan of the Monday Morning Podcast for a while now, and you were on the Crab Feed podcast. Oh, yeah, with Jay Lawson on the All Things Comedy Network, everybody. He said it reminded me of something. Pre-revolution France was almost identical to the way the U.S. is now. Oh, God, I hate when people keep predicting the demise of this country like they're giving us some sort of insight, like people in this country can't see it coming. All right? I'm not saying every mouth-breathing moron sees it coming, but, anybody who has any sort of intelligence, we see it coming, okay? All right there, Mr. fucking rubbing your goddamn chin. Actually, he's probably an American, too. All right, France in 1787 had grinding poverty, tax inequality, and was nearly bankrupt from the 7 Years' War. And then he writes, familiar? ? I'm not even going to read this fucking thing. You're already so up your own ass. Wow, I never looked at it that way. Wait, does history repeat itself? Gee, you're really onto something here, sir. Good fucking Lord. You know what's funny about this type of shit is this probably isn't even this person's thought. They're probably just regurgitating something else that they've read from a website, which I do all the fucking time. I do the exact same thing you're doing here, sir, except I don't go, familiar? Some people are confused. Why can't people just present a fucking an opinion without like patting themselves on the back about how fucking smart they are all the time? You know, you're a fucking moron just like me, okay? I'm going to read this and I'm going to skip over. Familiar? Does that ring a bell? Pot calling the kettle? Hoo, hoo, hoo. Ah, with your fucking smoking jacket, you cunt. All right, here we go. Jesus fucking Christ. All right. He goes, familiar? It should be. The modern U.S. actually has worse wealth and tax inequality than 1787 France and even pre-fall of Rome. Dude, this is all old shit. I've already heard this theory a zillion times before you present it. And, you know, and I'm not going to fucking read this and get all fucking depressed because I understand this. This is why I got out of conspiracy theory and just got a dog, and I'm sitting here watching the bread and circus of fucking sports like I never have before, because there's no way out of this. Rather than present this shit to me, I want you to write back to me and give me your solution. You give me the fucking solution rather than pointing out the fucking obvious as you rub your goddamn chin. All right? Jesus fucking Christ. All right, sorry. I was having such a great goddamn day. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's the Monday Morning Podcast. Sorry, for the fucking March 2nd. I gotta tell you something. Oh, I'm coming out of the gate this week, people. I just did like 8 minutes. A great fucking 8 minutes, a great fucking riff, the whole goddamn thing. And then I look down and the fucking goddamn stupid ass fucking thing isn't even on. You know why? This is the exact same fucking device. I had the Olympus LS10. Now it's the Olympus 14. And wouldn't you fucking know? They couldn't just leave well enough alone. They got to add like 20 fucking steps and some stupid broad's fucking voice in there telling me what I know I'm doing. So I fucking riff for like 8 fucking minutes and I find out the thing isn't even fucking recording. I hate technology. Okay? I don't understand. Why do we keep going forward? All right? We got enough shit. This is as comfortable as it's gonna fucking get. Why can't we just have the shit and this is how it fucking works? And when you figure something out, you know how it fucking works. Jesus fucking Christ. I told you guys, and I fucking will never stop bitching about these things. I fucking was talking on my podcast saying how, you know, I needed a new pair of fucking headphones one week, right? So some fucking person who listens to the podcast ended up sending me a pair of fucking wireless fucking headphones. Wireless fucking headphones. And I gotta tell you, I've never had more fucking problems with something in my life. You fucking sitting there, my whole life, headphones fucking work. You plug them into something that's charged. The headphones never, the amount of fucking times I sat there with my phone listening to fucking music. My phone is charged and then the headphones went out and I couldn't listen. It's just fucking, why did you add that step? Electronic pencil sharpeners and all that shit. And now it's just something that's gonna fucking, that drives me up the other one, the other pencil sharpener, you could buy a pencil sharpener once and you could have that thing for 100 fucking years. And little kids could walk up and be like, oh, this was my grandfather's. When he used to, you know, fucking sharpen pencils and when he built stuff. When we still had good wood in this country, right? It wasn't all wet because it was brand new fucking trees. It was old shit. Oh my God, I was in such a great fucking mood. It's completely changed the whole fucking vibe of this goddamn thing. Anyways, let me relax. Calm down. Let me try to get back to where I was. I was in such a fucking great mood because I'm back out here in Los Angeles. Let me make sure this thing's recording. Let me make sure everything's okay. The goddamn nerve center here, you know? Fuck. But, you know, I don't apologize to the guy at the bank. I owe taxes, right? I owe taxes up in fucking Canada. So my accountant goes, you have to go to the bank. I'm going to send you an email with all the fucking account information. They can wire it up there. Bing, bang, boom, done. So I say, fine. So I go up, I download the thing. I bring my laptop. I fucking get this David Blaine looking dude to, you know, at the bank to help me out, right? So we walk into his cubicle area. We sit down. I have all the information on the computer screen. He starts going, read me the VIN number. I know it's not that, but you know what I mean. And I'm like, what number? He's like, that number there. Read that to me. So I read it to him. He goes, all right, read me the next number. I go, which number? He goes, read me that number. And then I just finally look at him. I go,
I go, what do I work here? He's like, excuse me? I go, I feel like I work here right now. I'm like, look, just turn it around. Here's all the information. Type it in. And he goes, well, it's going to go quicker or something like that. And then he just kind of got quiet, right? I'm just fucking sitting there. And then after a couple minutes, he just kind of goes like, I don't understand like why you got upset there. I go, well, I'm not upset. I'm just calling you out on the fact you start treating me like your secretary. I don't work here. He goes, I'm not treating you like a secretary. I go, yeah, you are. You got me like reading off numbers and stuff. He goes, I'm just doing that because it'll be faster. And I go, well, I disagree. Well, what the fuck am I? You understand? You work at the bank. You're at the bank. You work at the bank. You get paid to work at the fucking bank. I'm the customer. This is what I need you to do. Do the fucking transaction. Jesus fucking Christ. These fucking goddamn, I'm going to say it. These kids today, everything about them it's interactive. Hey, man, like, hey, fucking reach out through the fucking interweb, man. Fuck off and do your job. But I didn't say any of that. I just said I disagree. That's the best I could do. But I just couldn't believe, he was like, but he was, what kills me is he's walking around saying that I'm a dick, which I am. I admit to that, but I'm fucking right. I got to sit there and read off fucking numbers to you? He goes, can you read this? He didn't even say please. He starts talking to me like I'm like I was like, did I just get hired as your assistant, you fucking cunt? I didn't even know what he was talking about, all of those numbers. I'm not a fucking banker. Every time he told me to read off a number, he had to explain what the number is. Like, how is that quicker? Oh, Jesus. So I meditated for the first time in about 6 weeks. I'm just trying. Yeah, I know. To the guy at the bank, maybe I could have explained it a little nicer. Maybe I couldn't have just flipped out here. But, know this. That's what I wanted to say in the bank, but I didn't. Okay? I just fucking kept my cool. But, like, you work at the bank. I don't. I need you to do this transaction. I have money in your bank. Back in the day, you guys used to give, like, 10%. 8% on fucking money in the bank. You now give like 0.0001%. Okay? So now you don't give me any money on it. You've loaned 10 times out on what I fucking have there. You guys invent money. You're literally counterfeiters. And now I have to go in there. You guys nuke the fucking economy every 8 fucking years, building housing bubbles or whatever, and you don't go to jail for it, and you leave Americans upside down in their houses, and you don't give a fuck. And then on top of that, I got to go in and read the fucking numbers off to you? Fuck off. I know this is childish for me to be sitting here alone, losing my mind, but I cannot lie to you and not tell you how fucking good this feels to get this out of me. Part of my meditation today is I'm actually doing this series on patience. Swear to God. And the guy said, oh God, what the fuck did he say? It almost made me mad when I was like, I wanted to debate with the guy, but I can't because it's just a recording. He basically said that when you lose your patience, it's because you have expectations of other people. Okay? And then when you react to that, it's like your fault for reacting to it. For having, you're wrong to have these expectations of people. And I'm thinking in my head, like that doesn't make any, I'm at this point, I'm wrong that I expect people to put in an effort at their job the way that I do and the way that I did. And I'm not patting myself on the back, but when I always, any job I had, I fucking killed it. Unless I just literally didn't have the talent, like construction. I could bring you the shit. I just didn't have that gift. Or I tried to sell health insurance. I just wasn't good at it. And you know what I did? I had the decency with both of those jobs to quit within a week and a half. I didn't fucking sit there and torture people and just suck at my job as they came walking in. Or worse, try to make them do part of my job. So I'm listening to this guy. And he's talking in a very soothing voice like this. Some sort of British accent. When we walk in there, we have... It's Headspace. Hello again. Welcome to Headspace. When we have expectations of other people, gives us a tendency to, he tries to like lose our patience. Like, don't get all fucking jolly because you know that's, you know what it is? He's doing that because he knows there's an angry cunt like me laying on the ground going, like, okay, so now you're defending this guy at the bank. You weren't even fucking there, you know? So now basically what you're saying is in order for me to have patience, I have to basically treat people the way I treat my daughter, which is I understand that she's a baby and doesn't know anything yet, you know? So I have to have 100% patience with her, which I do. But that's because she's a baby. So now I'm supposed to walk in and sit across from a 27-year-old guy in his, you're going to like the way you look, I guarantee it, fucking suit. And as he tells me to do, how could I have done that better? I guess what I should have said is, sir, I don't mean any disrespect, but I'm not going to read those numbers to you. I feel that you work at the bank and I am the customer, and I feel that that crosses a boundary that I'm not comfortable with. Well, I guess I could have said that, right? And when he exhaled, I probably should, like, when he exhaled, like, it was like someone fucking twisted a knife in my back. I wanted to fucking, like, did you just fucking exhale? Yeah, because once again, I guess I had expectations that this guy, you know, I had the ability to fucking look at a paper with all the answers to the test on it while typing at the same time. I mean, I can do that. I could do that for half a page and I'll only make a couple of mistakes, and I taught myself how to do it. What the fuck? How much more easier does life have to be? And then, I was also thinking when I left, it was like, you know something? My wife would have just read the numbers off to him. She would have read the numbers off to him, and then afterwards I would have said, like, why did you just do that? You did your job. She goes, well, you're right. You're right. I probably shouldn't have done that. But, it got it done quick, I just didn't want to have the argument, blah, blah, blah. And she continues on. You know what? And she's a way, way happier person. On paper, I think. On paper. I don't know, something, the thing about women is the big red flag is the level of shopping that they do and the amount of shit that they buy. Like, that's, I don't know. There's a fucking unhappiness there. There's something psychotic going on with just the sheer amount of clothes and shit that they buy and just stuff that they fucking buy. I don't see tranquility in it. I feel like that's like eating fucking, C's candies. They just love having that UPS driver showing up and, oh, it's a little package for me, I actually judge how well my relationship's going by how often the fucking UPS driver comes to the door. If he's coming a lot, then I need to take her out to dinner or something. If he's coming every once in a while, then that's just her doing the woman thing of basically, fucking kicking our retirement right in the seats. All right, I didn't need to go. Okay. Whatever. I apologize to everybody. I apologize to that first guy at the fucking Verizon store. I apologize for the way I conveyed what I was trying to say to the David Blaine looking dude at the bank. I don't know. Maybe it's a new world. Maybe I'm just a fucking old guy. Maybe that's why I don't fucking know. I don't know. I still think I'm right. But I'm going to learn in the future not to have expectations of people and just sit there as the sands of my life slip away, waiting for somebody to do their fucking job that they get paid to do.